Hello, everybody. Okay, this is really, really exciting. I haven't done this for the previous sneak peek. So if you've been in those before, this is brand new and I'm so excited. I've invited Kelly to join us this evening. Um, Basically, Kelly is a friend of mine that joined Team Beachbody and became a partner along with me. And she's just been crushing it ever since. And I adore her and I love her. And so I wanted to invite her on to ask her a couple questions so then she can share a little bit about her journey versus you guys just listening to me talk all day. So Kelly, would you be open to me asking you a question?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Ask away.
All right. Okay. So Kelly, how did you get into coaching?
So, I was a mom. Well, I am a mom of three. And I had my third baby, and she was almost 2, and I was still carrying around like 20 pounds of baby weight, and I was just feeling crappy. I was exhausted all the time, and I wasn't really working out. I had done all the things prior to anything else. I had done all the bad pills. I had done all the fad diets and tried all that stuff, and I'd always been an up and down dieter and an up and down, like go to the gym every single day for a month and then stop for 6 months kind of person. And at this point, I knew I just had to start doing something, but I didn't have the motivation to do anything. So I was sitting on the couch one night and Erin messaged me out of the blue. I mean, I knew her because she is a friend, but I mean, a sister of my friend, but I didn't know her well enough to her, like, be like, hey, what's up? So I was like, oh, I wonder what Erin's doing. So she asked me, do I want to join a challenge group? And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So she's like, oh, it's health and fitness. We just like post about what if we've exercised. And I'm like, well, I'm not even exercising, but yeah, all right. I'm like, maybe this is the thing I need to just get me going. So I signed up to do this challenge group, and I actually borrowed the DVDs to what was it? Insanity.
It was Insanity, wasn't it? Insanity?
Yes, Insanity from your sister, who probably bought them from you. But I borrowed those DVDs, and first of all, I went from doing nothing to doing Insanity, which was insanity because it was really hard. But I immediately, I probably would have quit on the very first day if I hadn't had that challenge group. So I immediately loved the challenge group. I don't think I posted in it at all, but I loved.
No, I don't think you did.
No, I was kind of like a fly on the wall, but I loved watching it and seeing what everyone else was doing. It was what was making me go back and kill myself with the Insanity workouts on a daily basis. And I didn't know what a Beachbody coach was. I didn't know you were a Beachbody coach. I had no idea about any of that. I was no idea. So I don't even know how long it was. It wasn't that long, a month or so in, I saw people drinking this shake, and I never said anything about it because I didn't really know what it was. And I had tried shakes, in the past for losing weight and whatever. So Erin mentioned to me something about the shakes, and I was like, no, I don't want those. I don't want to do that. And I completely didn't want to do any of it. I was like, no, I'm good. And I'm just going to do what I'm doing. But then I kept seeing people getting results in the group, and it was just, I was like addicted to the group. I loved it. I loved commenting when I would comment on someone's stuff and then they would comment back, and it was like exciting, and I was part of this community, and I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. So just like the feeling of being part of something was awesome. But I'm going to go on a little double thing here. I'm going to answer another question, even though you haven't asked it of me yet, because it goes along with this. That's how I started to kind of get into the Beachbody thing, was with the challenge groups. But this whole Shakeology thing came up, and Erin was like, I know you're exhausted. You should just try it. Just try it. You can just try it for 1 week. And if you don't like it, you can return it. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to try it, make her happy. And so she'll know that I don't like it. And because I was
probably
like,
leave you alone. You're probably like, this chick will
It's
stop
like,
talking.
then she'll stop bugging me about this stuff. I'm like, I remember one of the things I said to Erin was, I like to chew my food. I don't drink my food. And at the time, I was dead serious. Now looking back, it makes me laugh every time I think about it. But I was dead serious. I was like, I don't want to drink something in place of food, blah, blah, blah. So I got the shakes and I pretty much drank them out of spite because I didn't think I was going to like them. And I definitely didn't think they were going to do anything for me. And so I was kind of ignoring I was drinking them fine once a day. By the third day, I was sitting in line at the pickup line, waiting for one of my kids to get out of school. And I was like, holy crap, I am not falling asleep in the car. Because every day at 3:00, I was falling asleep waiting for my daughter to get out of school in the car with a baby in the back. So not safe. But I would literally like nod off. My daughter would be banging on the window so I could unlock the door and let her in the car. And day 3, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not exhausted. But then I'm like, whatever. It's probably just a fluke. But of course, then day 4, 5, and 6, it was amazing to me. It literally blew my mind. And that was the very first thing and I think I said that to Erin right after. The next time I talked to her, I was like, I am not falling asleep at 3 PM every day. Like, if this only ever did this for me, it would be worth it. It's done a lot more. But that was how I kind of just got into that Beachbody stuff, doing that. And then I bought PiYo, my all-time favorite workout to this day. Did that, loved it. And it was when Erin showed me a video of a coach on our team who'd been doing it longer than her. And I watched his video, and he was just like a really regular kind of guy. And he was talking about the business and what he had done with it and how much it had brought to his life financially. And then I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me this regular normal guy can be able to quit his 3 jobs that he had and make more money doing this? Then I was like, all right, I'm all in. And I think after that was when I was like, if he can do it, I can do it, because he's just normal and I'm just normal. So why not? And that was what like pushed me into like, okay, I'm going to do this coaching thing.
Now, what was like your biggest concerns about coaching when you started? What were you concerned about?
My biggest concern, well, one, that it was a pyramid scheme. And I have to be honest, that wasn't actually my first fear. It was my husband's first fear. When I mentioned to him that I was thinking of doing this, he was like, isn't that a pyramid scheme? And he was like, and I didn't really know what a pyramid scheme was. So I was like, oh, well, I don't know. And so then of course I went and Googled it because I wanted to prove him wrong. And he was wrong. So I found out, no, not a pyramid scheme. And if you don't know what a pyramid scheme is, just Google it and you'll see a pyramid scheme is when one person at the top makes all the money and it's illegal, and Beachbody is over 10 years old and they'd never make it this far if they were being illegal. So it's definitely not. And once I Googled that and I was able to prove my husband wrong, I felt better about that. And the other things were, I thought I was nervous about being salesy. I was nervous about feeling like I was pushing stuff on people, and I was nervous that I didn't know. I only had 200 friends on Facebook. And I was like, what happens after all those people say no? Then what do I do? Like, I don't know enough people. So those were probably my biggest concerns. But of course, once I started getting involved with our team and realizing that you're not selling product. Like, I've never been like, what can I do to sell you this shake? Like, that's just not what we do. And that people want to go on this journey with us. They don't want us to sell them stuff. They're not really buying a product. They're buying us as their coach. Like, we're the key factor. And it's because we care, we help. And that I knew I'd be good at, caring and helping. And then as far as not enough friends on Facebook and whatnot, our team has such amazing trainings to teach us how to find new people to talk to and share with, that never became an issue. So 200 friends 3 years ago, and now I've got 3,000 or 4,000 or something. So those are the things that I was most fearful of, but in the end found out that they were absolutely nothing to worry about.
Great. And So really, how has your life changed? Like, what has coaching done for you today?
Um, I'd say two main things. One is just the people. Like I said, when I started this, I was a stay-at-home mom. So I had no interaction with adults really at all, except my husband, my poor husband. He'd come home and I'd talk his ear off all night. And so having this team and being involved in something that was just mine and adults, and it was, I felt really good about it. And of course now I have all these awesome friends that I didn't even know before Beachbody, who are now some of my closest friends. It's that part right there is amazing. And then the other big part is financially. When I started this, my youngest daughter was 2, and I knew when she was 3 I was going to have to go back to work at my office manager job. And when she went to preschool, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was just me. It was in my heart, and it's what I wanted. And when I realized that I could earn an income doing this, I said to my husband, if I can match my salary at my office manager job by the time Lila, my youngest, is 3, I'm just going to stay home and do this. And he said, okay, if you can do it. And I did it. And that was 4 years ago. She's 6 now. And I haven't even entertained the notion of getting a job outside of doing this, and haven't had to. So that's huge financially, because we can still, we've paid off debt. We've done other things too, which is amazing, but it's allowed me to be home with my kids, which is where my heart is and exactly where I want to be.
Thank you. I love that. I remember that too when I asked you like what your goals were, and you said, I don't want to have to go back to work. I
No,
don't.
I just
And
did.
now you volunteer, you get to go to a school, you get to be there to pick them up, drop them off. That's probably, the money's great.
Of course.
Those other things, I'm sure, for you that are like the reason to keep going. So
Yeah, I mean, we all know that the money, no matter what kind of job you do, the money is why we put the effort forth for those jobs. But of course, when the situation leads to something that has to do with making your family better, making your family life better, I mean, that's like the best of both worlds together. So yeah.
well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're amazing. And I'm so glad that this brought us together.
Yes.
And like, we really are friends. When people like when we talk about friends, like it's not like, oh, we're just, no, we really all hang out and stuff.
Yes.
So
Yes, we do.
awesome.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.